All right, welcome in, you guys. You are listening to Andrea with From Mrs. to Ms. I'm really excited about this episode today, you guys. We've got someone very special with us here, and it is in the topic that I most love to talk about, which is sexual intimacy. Ooh, I'm getting all turned on just thinking about it. I love that. This is so exciting. We have Susan Bratton here with us, you guys. She is an intimacy expert. She's an author and she's an advocate for lifelong passion, which is what we all are needing right now. So let me tell you a little bit about Susan. As a co-founder and CEO of Personal Life Media and The 20, she has helped millions, you guys, millions unlock deeper intimacy through communication, love-making techniques, and natural supplements that are going to boost your vitality. She's the best-selling author of over 30 books and programs, including Sexual Soulmates, Relationship Magic, and Revive Her Drive. Ooh, I like that. Revive Her Drive, and has been featured in the New York Times, CNBC, The Today Show, on major networks, including ABC, CBS, Fox, NBC. Y'all see where I'm going with this. She's incredible. She's here with us today. She is known as the Dear Abby of Sex. She blends practical wisdom with science-backed strategies to help people cultivate passion at any age. Susan, welcome to From Mrs. to Ms.
Yeah, I was so happy when my publicist reached out to you and booked me, because one of my favorite cohorts to talk to are midlife women who have had it with their shitty sex life, and they're like, there has to be something better. Somebody give me some advice. Somebody tell me what to do that'll make it better than it was before. And it's funny because you noticed one of my programs, Revive Her Drive.
Yes, love it.
I wrote that program for men in relationship whose wives don't want to have sex with them anymore. And they think there's something wrong with her that they need to fix. And so I called it Revive Her Drive. And then guys will buy that program and they'll start doing the things. And I always say it's going to be 2 steps forward, 1 step back. You got to stick with it. You know, you're unwinding all of the cultural dumb things you thought you were supposed to do. And it's going to take a while to get it back. But if it used to be good, it can be good again. And they email me and they're like, Suze, you tricky little devil. You made it sound like you were going to tell me how to fix my wife, and you fixed me. Thank you so much. Yes, she's having sex with me again. And it's just so funny because they think it's us, you know? Oh my God, it's infuriating.
Oh, and I'm so glad you're talking about this, because it's going to come from both directions then, right? Because we do tend to leave the men out in a lot of these conversations. We make it all about the women and what we're going through. We were just talking a little bit about menopause and stuff, and just how our bodies are changing and our sex lives are changing. And so I love that you are bringing the men into this, because just so many reasons. I mean, in my mind, I think men want it all the time. That's what that they're just sexual men who want to have, they just walking boners. That's what I think all the time. But it's a dance, right? It's got to fit in with the women that they're trying to bone.
Yeah. I love boning. That's hilarious. That's such a fun boning.
Yes, we like that. So let's talk about some of the things. I want to tell the audience what we're going to be talking about today, because there are 3 big revelations that I want them to take away from this conversation with you. And we're going to talk about what we were just talking about, deconstructing dude sex. I love that. That's a good title too, right? Deconstructing dude sex. We're also going to talk about the role of shame-free pleasure, because I feel, and I've been through it too, we find sex to be shameful at times, or things we're doing, secretive stuff. We don't want to talk about it. There's all kinds of different areas that we find shameful. And then we're also going to talk about taking back control and what our sexual non-negotiables are, because you like to give yours, but those are yours. And so everybody has to kind of find their own, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So we're going to dive into all of this. I cannot wait to get started. There's so much information. I was actually so excited when your publicist reached out, because I don't know, lately I've been getting a lot where I'm like, oh, that doesn't sound too exciting. And it's like, a fertility expert or an attorney that deals in like reverse mortgages after your midlife crisis. And I'm like, wah. And then I see Susan's going to come talk to us about sex. So I was like, yes, let's go. So thank you for being here. First of all, that gets me very excited. Good. All right. Tell us, how did you get started? How did you get started in this journey and intimacy work? And were there any aha moments that kind of kept you invested in this journey?
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny too, because I'm really enjoying your excitement about the topic. Thank
Oh,
you.
I love talking about
One of the
sex.
things that really annoys me is when I do a show with someone and they go, okay, you guys, if there's any kids around, you're going to have to put your earbuds in. And I'm all like, we're going to need to start the show over. Like, I've
Yeah.
gotten to the point where it's like, don't shame people. Anybody who tuned into this episode knows we're
Knows
gonna
where we're
talk
going.
about sex.
Thank you.
And they're not having their kids hear this. They
No.
already know. So don't make them feel like listening to sex is so shameful. Good God. And I used to kind of just put up with that and kind of internally roll my eyes around that.
Yeah.
But then after a while, because as you will find as we do this episode, I am just a take no prisoners. I cannot be controlled. This is what I demand and desire.
Yes.
I
love
will
it.
be serviced and served, and you will love it more than you've ever loved having sex with anybody in your life. You'll never be able to have sex with anybody else because it's going to be so incredibly awesome to have sex with me because of the things I know and what I do. And that's how I want every woman who leaves this episode to feel, like so powerful, so confident, so uncontrollable, so unshameable. And I want to drop a word on you that I really like right now. And then I'll tell you how I ended up here and that kind of stuff. But I'll make that quick because I want to get into like my compensating mechanisms, the knowledge that helped me shift into this new thing. And I want to give it a word. So a lot of people use the word being a sovereign woman. And I like that. And I used that word for a while. But I have a new word. I have a new and improved, better word for what I'm trying to express for us. And it's agentic. Agentic means you have agency over yourself. You're the decider. You're in control. It's up to you. You are the last word in the way you live your life. And for many women after divorce or hitting midlife, it may be the first time they've ever felt that. And I stand so firmly rooted in that. And what I also like about agentic better than sovereign, there's a couple of things I like about it. One is that sovereign feels like I'm rowing a boat out on a lake by myself.
It does.
Agentic makes me feel like I'm walking across the motherfucking water.
Oh,
right?
Yeah,
like,
girl,
you know, I'm
Jesus.
just like, I have agency. I am in control. I am the center of my universe. Like that's what, and I also like that it is, you know, we're entering the agentic era of the internet, right? So one of the things that I love is I spend a lot of time, I run a mastermind. I run a business mastermind for sexperts. I do it for free. I give back and I lift the women up who are coming up behind me because I'm in my 60s. I've been doing this for decades. I'm a digital marketer. I've been successful and I'm having a lot of success come to me now to the point where I can't say yes to everything and I want to pay it forward, teach other women how to thrive in a very difficult shadow banned, censored category of business. And I spend a lot of time teaching them how to use AI tools to more effectively achieve their goals because they'll be afraid to use them. And I teach them how powerful they are and how to use them intelligently, wisely, which ones to use. As a matter of fact, I got a text from one of my girlfriends this morning. I was eating my eggs and toast and she's like, what was that thing you said where I can load up all my podcast appearances and my stage appearances and all my books and programs and I can have it be there and then I can ask it about everything I've ever said and thought. And I said, that's Notebook LM. That's what that is. It's a research AI and it won't go out to the internet and like hallucinate stuff. It'll only tell you about your own thinking. She's like, thank you. And so because AI, we're on this cusp. We have so much power now with AI, like put your divorce papers into it and tell me where the flaws are. Like we can really protect ourselves from the bullshit that has happened to us with AI. That's just one thing. And AI is the AI that we use. It's called Agentic AI. And
Mm.
so it is Agentic means it can figure things out on its own. And so there's just it's like, to me, a very hip, fresh word that really
Yeah.
gets across this modern woman who's in full control. So I wanted to
Mm.
throw that out because I
I
wasn't
love
always
it.
that woman. And what happened was I've been married to my husband for 34, been with him for 34 years now, married for
Amazing.
32. We have
Hmm.
a really good relationship.
I love that.
And we've been through thick and thin together. And our love is deeper now than it's ever been. And
Mhm.
we're very happily married.
Mhm.
And that's because we've learned over time some core principles that work very well for us. But in the beginning of our marriage, for the first 12 years, we almost got divorced because I stopped wanting him for sex, because after like the first few months, honestly, maybe a year, I never had an orgasm from intercourse, and
Mhm.
I dutifully fucked him for 12 years. And I could have
Dutifully.
an
I love it.
orgasm with my little, 1990s vibrator, which was not great.
Yeah.
And it was okay, but sex just became so unfulfilling that I was doing duty booty, giving him mercy sex. And I was avoiding him. I was just avoiding him for sex. And he
Yeah.
was miserable. And he
Yeah.
did all the stuff guys do, like
Mhm.
begging, bargaining, honeydoing,
Mhm.
and I was just like, all right, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And
It's a
so
chore.
what happened was we ended up going to therapists, and it didn't really move the needle. What really moved the needle for us were two things. There were three. One was,
Okay.
we had a friend who was a radical honesty coach, and he kind of introduced us to this idea that if you stop walking on eggshells and you stop with stuffing your feelings or withholding, if you just actually say what you need to say and you're very truthful in your life, that you have a much juicier, more satisfying life that you feel more confident in, and all of those kinds of things. But
Mhm.
it turns out that lying is so endemic to our culture
Yeah.
and it's not like lying in a bad way. It's like all those sins of omission kind of things and stuff
Yeah.
that we do. Like our opinion, our needs aren't important. We are always
Mhm.
subjugating ourselves,
Mhm.
especially as women. And so we started telling each other the truth, and we had to train ourselves to tell the truth. It was so instilled in us, just the not saying things that might
Yeah.
hurt somebody's feelings or whatever. We weren't making any
Yeah.
progress.
Yeah.
So that was number one. Number two was we went to sex workshops. And we
Okay.
actually, like, I looked at my vulva for the first time. I was horrified to look at my vulva, and
Yeah.
things like that. And we learned about how to make love.
Yeah.
And that changed everything. And the third thing that we did was we learned how to treat each other the way we wanted to be treated, rather than the way our partner wanted us to treat them, rather than the way we wanted to be treated, because we're different.
Mhm.
He's a man, I'm a
Mhm.
woman. He's testosterone, he's got more confidence. Not that he should have had more confidence, but he did because of the testosterone. They're lucky that way. Dudes are so, and I
Yes.
take testosterone now. I know you're launching your new show, your menopause show.
Yes.
I take a shit ton of testosterone
Really?
because it makes me have balls. I feel strong. I'm the CEO of two companies.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
am a
You gotta be.
badass bitch. And
Yes.
I really love my testosterone. It's so
Yeah.
good. So
Yeah.
I can see the benefits that men naturally just live in these testosterone dominant bodies, and they're so
Yeah.
lucky.
Mhm.
So we did something called relationship values. I went on one of my best-selling books, 34 books and programs later. One of my
Mm.
best-selling all-time books is a book called Relationship Magic. And you can buy it on Amazon. It's a
Mhm.
workbook. I would just go to myrelationshipmagic.com and download it. It'll help you
Okay.
figure out what your top relationship values are and how you want to be treated in a relationship if you were in the perfect
Oh,
relationship.
I'm writing this one
Yeah,
down
and I'll
because I
send it
need
to
it.
you, Andrea. No, I'm going to totally
Okay.
send you everything. I'm going to give you VIP access to all my books and programs, including all my Steamy Sex Ed video collection
Perfect.
and all kinds of really good things.
Yes.
So, I started treating him the way he wanted to be treated, and he started treating me the way I wanted to be treated. And what was really interesting about that was all of a sudden I was like, oh, that's why you do that, because that's what you want. Oh, it
Oh,
was
but what
really telling.
about what
Exactly.
I
So
want?
that helped. And then we started this thing called the expanded orgasm practice, which was this clitoral stroking technique that helped me
Ooh.
really settle into my body, calm down, get out of my flight and my fright and, like my just like worry about my sex life and orgasming. And it settled my nervous system and it made me a really good comer. So I started
Mm,
getting more confident sexually and enjoying my sex life more.
mm,
And it's interesting, every year I do the top 10 sex trends. And I go on a couple of
mhm,
the big sex podcasts, and this is something I've been doing for years. And this
mhm,
year, my number one sex trend was yoni massage, which is basically vulva massage, manual vulva massage with your hands with some warm, nice oil. And you can also use a couple of like sex toys that feel really good on the vulval and clitoral tissue.
mm.
And for the first time, I've been talking about yoni massage for decades. And for the first time last year, it crested over that men were DMing me and emailing me and saying, I need to learn how to do yoni massage. What's a yoni massage? How do I do yoni massage? Women have been asking and asking and asking and, really
Yeah.
wanting it. And men are now like, okay, I need to know how to do this.
Yes.
And that makes me feel like I'm making some progress because
Whoa. Is
when
it
women
Y-O-N? Y-O-N-I-N-G? Is that what
Yoni,
you...
yoni,
Okay. Oh, yoni. Okay.
Yoni. It's a
Okay.
tantric lovemaking word that really stands for the entire female genital systems and its spiritual connection and
Mm,
love and those kinds of things. It's like, I could say vagina, but that's just the inside. And I feel like that's
yeah.
patriarchal because
Mhm.
my clit's out here.
Yeah.
And yet your clitoris is actually wrapped around your vagina. We have as much erectile tissue in our vulvovaginal system, which I
Mm,
call the yoni, Y-O-N-I,
yes.
as our male bodied partners do in their penis. But they get
Okay.
erect super fast and
Yeah.
we get erect super slow. And we've
Mhm.
mostly been penetrated
Mhm.
long before we even have our lady boner.
Mhm.
And men are done and they're ready to have a sandwich or they're snoring away. And we're like, it wasn't really
Mhm.
good for me. And it wasn't
Right.
because we just get rushed to intercourse.
Yeah.
So once we stopped rushing to intercourse and we slowed down and we did the expanded orgasm practice, this clitoral stroking, we did the yoni massaging, and I learned how to kind of stay in my sensation and
Yeah.
allow myself to be pleasure, to receive
Mm.
unlimited pleasure with no requirement to have intercourse. What really moved the needle for me was taking off the pressure. So
Mm.
when we got to the point where I could have unlimited expanded orgasm dates, unlimited yoni massage, I could get full attention on my pleasure without having to have sex with him. And by that, I mean intercourse
Yeah.
afterward. Nine
Wow.
times out of 10, I would want it because it was finally warmed
Yeah.
up. It
Yeah.
was such a game changer for our sex life to finally be able to orgasm from intercourse because I was warmed up enough. Most women and their partners, they will
Mhm.
go to a therapist and they'll say, well, she can't have orgasms. Okay,
Mhm.
well, you mean the two of you you have not yet learned how to have her experience orgasms, not she
Mhm.
can't. She just
Mhm.
hasn't yet because you guys don't know what you're
Mm.
doing, right? Because
Mm.
that's what we have suffered with in our first marriages. Most
Yes.
women are
Me.
like, I just could not stand to fuck him one more time. And
Don't make me do it.
I just could not anymore.
Yeah.
And now I'm out of that and I don't have a lot of experience. I don't know how to ask for what I want. I don't even know what I want.
Yeah.
I just know what I was getting wasn't it. The young
Mhm.
guys are, kind of crass. The old
Mhm.
guys
Okay.
can't get a hard on. Like, what am I
Mhm.
supposed to do? That's why there's like a massive rise in midlife lesbianism
You're
because
right.
women are like, well, we could just get each other off. Oh, I could play with
We
your
communicate
boobs.
better.
We do.
Yeah.
So I know how to find your clit.
Yeah. It's awesome. So true.
So it
So
was really
true.
that process of getting honest, getting attention on my pleasure, not just driving toward intercourse.
Yeah.
And then him really giving me the things I needed in the external, out of the bedroom relationship, and me doing that for him as well, that really changed things. And over 20 years since I was like, we need to bring all this stuff to the internet so anyone anywhere else in the world can have access
Candid.
to
Yeah.
female pleasure forward sex education and
Yes.
techniques and bedroom communication skills and intimate wellness information, so
Yeah.
that people can realize that sex, it's like there's this distinction, Andrea.
Mm-hmm.
When people think about the word sex,
Mm-hmm.
they think intercourse.
Yeah.
And the thing is that it's like, yeah, intercourse is nice, but so is full body touch, yoni
Mm-hmm.
massage, lingam massage, kissing, oral pleasuring, role play, fantasy, orgasm techniques, playing with sex toys, all of
So
these
many.
things are fun. And so when
Yeah.
couples are just like driving to intercourse and they're not learning any skills, they're just like basically procreating.
Yeah.
Tab A into slot B, that's what makes a baby. Yeah, but that's not
Yeah.
what the vagina wants for pleasure.
No.
That's just pumping your semen in me. And I'll
Right.
tell you, when I
Right.
say that literally triggers me still. That whole like just being like a dump and pump for a guy
Yes.
because he doesn't know how to
That
make
phrase.
love or know where
Uh-huh.
my parts are. Like every woman who's listening to us is like, bitch, been there, done that, hated it, don't want that again. And what are guys doing? They're
No.
watching porn, which is more
Mm-hmm.
degrading acts to women that are nothing about female pleasure led,
Mm-mm.
good sensuality. So I had my
Mm-hmm.
work cut out for me. So I've
Yes.
never wavered in my desire to do what I do. I've never had those
Amazing.
moments where I'm like, what am I doing? Except for the massive shadow banning, censorship, the blocking of my accounts, the shutting down of my business from,
Yeah.
social, from software platforms. Like, because
It's
in
too
our
much.
country, we don't like sexual literacy.
Yeah.
We only allow for pornography and light porn, which is what basically movies and television are. I
Mm-hmm.
can barely watch them because it's like, once you know how
Mm.
to make love and you look at that, it just pisses you off. You're like, I
Yeah.
cannot see that one
It
more
doesn't look
time.
real. Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Wow.
I know,
Wow.
right?
What I know. What an incredible
I feel
journey.
like we need
And
to have a cigarette now, don't you? Like, I just
yeah,
feel like I
I
had a
do.
good cry or something, right?
I
Like a
know.
little,
That was
the
so
lamentation, the wailing,
it
we
was
need
so good.
to bitch about this stuff together.
We do, Susan. And I'm
Yeah.
so glad that you brought up so many of those different things in there because, I talk to my audience a lot about it and they're all listening, but I go through like a lot of this stuff and people always think, oh, well, she's got a podcast. She talks about it. She knows what she's doing. I'm not saying that about you. You obviously do. But for me, it's like, I'm hearing you say these things. I've gone through the shame of, and I think I really put that with my family. My mom was older when she had me. We just didn't ever talk about sex. So to me,
Nobody's
it felt
family
very
does.
taboo. Yeah.
Nobody's family does. If I hear one thing, it's
Yeah.
my wife can't orgasm.
Mm-hmm.
My wife doesn't know how to have orgasms.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents never told me
Never.
about sex. I felt very isolated. It's literally everybody. Nobody's parents talk to them. Like, it's so rare
And
that
are you
somebody's like,
finding
yeah,
that
my parents
still?
had a great sex life and they always told me
Yeah.
all this stuff and they had really good answers. Like, I've heard that maybe on one hand, the number of
Yeah.
times.
Yeah. And it's not gotten any better, right? Like I would have
No.
said, well, it's because my mom's 90. So back in the day, we wouldn't talk about that. But it seems I don't talk to my kids about sex right now. My boys, my son is homosexual. My other son's about to get married. We never talk about anything like that. And I know my ex-husband doesn't talk to them either. So where are they learning?
Yeah.
So it's so nice to hear you being so free and open and talking about all of this stuff, talking about the orgasms. I'm right up there. I don't really orgasm from intercourse.
Oh,
I
then
mean,
let's fix that.
who better
Oh,
needs
let's
to
fix
take
that
your course?
today, girl. Yeah, let's just fix that right now. I'll tell you how to do it. You
Yes.
want to know how to do it? Because most
Yeah.
women are like that. Okay, good. One thing I
Yeah.
want to say about your sons. I love that
Yes.
you have a gay son. Yay.
Yes.
You're so lucky that you have a gay son and a straight son. How fun is that?
Yeah.
And
Very
two
cool.
sons. So nice.
Mhm.
On my website, betterlover.com,
Okay.
there's like close to 800 videos on there. There's a search box at the top.
Mm-hmm.
And you can type in kids and children and it'll come up. I don't remember if it's how to talk to your kids or how to talk to your children about sex.
Yeah.
But my girlfriend, Nat Kringoudis, who is a child development expert, she and I did a video together where we laid out step by step, age by age, what we gave you a couple of approaches
Mm-hmm.
for at what age you need to cover what things, how to bring them up, how to talk to your kids,
Mm.
resources, etc. So for anybody listening who's like, yeah, me
Amazing.
neither, I'm not telling my kids, I really recommend you watch that. It's super
Yeah.
good.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Because
talk to your
again,
kids. They
yeah.
feel badly that you didn't, even though what they're going to do, forewarned is forewarned. They're going to go, Mom, you don't need to say,
You told me
Mom,
about it.
Mom. They're going to do that. And you're going to be like, one of my tips is you give them little snacks, right? It's like a toddler. You don't give them a big meal or they won't eat anything. You got to give them toddler bites, right? A little
Yes.
variety,
So
a little snack plate with like 3 grapes and 2 black olives and a cheese chunk and a pickle and whatever, That's how you talk to your kids about
Lunchables.
sex.
Okay.
It's like
Little
you
at
give them
time.
a toddler meal where you just give them one little bite. You pop a little
Yeah.
bite in their mouth when they're captive. So like as your kid was running by and you popped that little grape in their mouth because they wouldn't stop and eat, but then they would bonk because they were starving and they were having a meltdown. So you were doing that to protect yourself. Same thing with the car. You do it in the car when you're taking them somewhere.
They can't get out.
Or where they can't get away.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell your son. Don't tell your sons I told you that. That's what you have
Susan
to
said to sit tight and don't move. We're about to have a discussion. Lock the doors.
So let's get you some orgasms. Okay, here's all you. This is what you need to know. So the most important thing was one of the things I already said, which is that if you think about a penis, it's like
As
a banana. As I do too. It's like a banana, right?
Okay.
Where it's mostly the fruit is spongy tissue and the skin is the peel.
Okay.
And so most of a banana is fruit with a little peel. Most of a penis is spongy tissue with a little skin. And it's twice as, if you think about a fully erect penis, it's almost twice as big as that because there's this buried shaft of the penis that goes in and down toward his testicles. And the whole thing is as big as a banana. And when it's erect and when it's flaccid, it's like a date, it's little. So it gets filled with blood really quickly.
Okay.
And hang on, I've got some.
Okay.
You can probably hear that. Can you hear the construction in my house?
Yeah, that's okay. I'll just mark it.
It's my neighbor. Sorry about that.
That's okay. No
so when it gets erect really, really fast. It goes boink, and he's got a heart on. Like, it's magic, right?
Yeah.
So in your vulva, your yoni, the tantric word for the female portal to pleasure. In your yoni, you've got your vagina inside, and you've got the vulva, which is the outside. And that's the mons, where the pubic hair is at the top, the mons venus or mons pubis, the outer labia, which are under your pubic hair on each side, the clitoral shaft and the clitoral tip or glands, the inner labia are the little lips. And for some of us, they're like the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. And for others, they're these diminutive little lips. Some women are like, I have Ozempic vulva now and it's all like hanging. And other women are like, I have vanishing clit and labia because I'm having atrophy from menopause. Like we've got,
oh my gosh, we've got it all.
Every labial problem you can imagine, but I've got solutions for that too. But that's for your menopause show.
Yes.
So you've got all this tissue. Then you've got Where your pee-pee comes out, that's called
Mhm.
your urethral exit. It's inside the inner labia. If you open up the little doors to the inner labia, that's your vestibule. It's like the vestibule, the doorway, the portal, like the welcome mat.
Okay.
Inside
Okay.
there, that's where your pee-pee comes out.
Okay.
Also, female ejaculate comes out of that same tube. It's
Okay.
called your urethra, your
Okay.
urethral exit. It comes down, and all women can ejaculate. Some
Mhm.
women do it naturally. Some women
Mhm.
want to learn how and do. Other
Mhm.
women just never do it.
They never do.
And it's totally normal, and it's not urine. Just like when men ejaculate and urinate out of the end of their penis, that's their urethral tube with their
Mhm.
urethral leg. We have the same parts. They're just
Yeah.
slightly in different positions and
Very
shapes. So
interesting.
then below that, where your pee comes out, is your vaginal opening. It's called your introital sphincter. It's a round muscle. And then
Okay.
that leads to what I call the vaginal pocket. Because if you think about a pocket is flat till you put your hand in there, or a
Mhm.
big wad of cash, or
Mhm.
whatever, a snickerdoodle. And it's flat, and it opens and it tense up as you get aroused, and it accommodates that bigger penis now that's engorged with blood and turned on and erect.
Okay.
So if I took that banana's worth of erectile tissue out of your male partner's penis and I
Okay.
curved it and made it come to a point like a teardrop, and
Mhm.
I took the skin off of your vulva and popped it in there, I would pop it right in there, and it would be around the vaginal pocket. The
Mhm.
tip, the point at the top of the teardrop is that clitoral shaft and tip, but there's erectile tissue as much as a whole banana, as much as in
Wow.
your partner's penis, all the
Really?
way around your vaginal pocket, all the way around. There's a urethral sponge, a perineal sponge, clitoral arms, clitoral legs, a clitoral shaft, a clitoral body. There's like all this spongy tissue in there. But here's the rub, if you'll excuse the expression.
Okay.
And this is why you haven't had an orgasm yet from
Mhm.
intercourse. This is the first
Mhm.
reason, is that it takes us time to get out of our head and into our
Mhm.
body, to
Right, yeah.
relax, to feel comfortable. We need kissing. We need breast pleasuring. We need full body touch. We need
Mhm.
words of adoration, appreciation, encouragement. We need some nipple stimulation. We
Mhm.
need yoni massage. We need some oral pleasuring. It takes us time to get the blood into
Mhm.
all those nooks and crannies.
Mm.
So here's my analogy. You have an
Okay.
English muffin in your pants. When you
No
get that
nooks.
muffin out of the refrigerator and you put it in the toaster and you
Yeah.
press it down, it pops up. Is it toasted? No, it's not. You
No.
have to
No.
press that muffin down again,
Yeah.
because you don't want a white, gloppy English muffin. You want an
Right.
English muffin with brown, crispy yumminess on it.
Yes.
Now the butter is hard because it's been in the refrigerator too.
Yeah.
You cut that piece of butter and you stick it between the two English muffins pieces, and you
Yes.
let that butter
Melt.
melt into the nooks and crannies. You're
Yes.
not eating a raw English muffin out of the refrigerator with hard butter on it. You're
Mm-mm.
eating a deliciously toasted, melty. It's making me hungry. I want that right now.
I
You
love
want that.
it.
And that's what our yoni needs, is all that time and attention. And then here's the second thing. So your 20, 30 minutes of what we would have used to call foreplay, I
Yeah.
feel like that's dude sex.
Dude sex.
Foreplay
Okay.
and sex, right? It's
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
everything is like driving to penetration, and we drive right to penetration way
Mhm.
before we're ready to be penetrated. They're hard,
Mhm.
so we must be ready to go. We're not.
Right.
And that's not foreplay. That's the sex we need. We need
Yeah.
all those things I said.
Yeah.
So they think they're like doing us this big favor by penetrating us with their hard penis. But if we're not basically coming the whole time they're doing that, we're not ready. The second
Wow.
piece is that when men see depictions of intercourse, it
Mhm.
is for procreation. It is, I'm going to put my penis in, I'm going to pump away, I'm going to ejaculate. And that's really just how you make a baby. That's like, you could do that with a stallion and a mare. That's
Yeah.
what that is. You know what I mean? That's not lovemaking. That's not orgasmic intercourse. So orgasmic intercourse, what I teach guys and their female partners all the time is, here's what a vagina needs from your penis. And there are a number of techniques. And I feel like we shouldn't go into a rat hole about that right now, because I can just give that to your listeners. It's at orgasmicintercourse.com.
Okay.
I teach you things like glissando, crouching tiger, the heart tongue method. There's 10 of them that are completely different ways to put a penis in a vagina that elicit orgasms from that vagina. And you never see them in the movies. You never see them in porn. And this is what will make you come. And so I think just going, like, letting people who are like, yeah, this is what I need to know, just go there. It's free. You don't have to do, there's no charge for it. These are just my 10 articles with my 10 orgasmic intercourse techniques, all organized in one place that you can click and read. Then you can be like, okay, now I see what she's saying. I see what to do. So it's the combination of engorgement to clitoral erection and stimulation that feels good to the vaginal pocket. And you will come. And you will start to come really well. And you will come and come and come and come. And then intercourse will be even more fun, because you're going to be having orgasms the whole time. It's literally just learn skills that are not demonstrated or taught anywhere.
That's it. Well, I was just talking about that on an episode of mine that's out today. It's actually talking about faking orgasms and how we have often done that. Yeah. And I have been one to do that many times, because for that very reason, I don't know why I'm not taking the time to figure it out. The man doesn't know what he's doing. There's so many reasons. And then I'm just like, okay, well, either I'm tired, I'm bored. I'm like, oh God, let's just get this over with, you know, and then I just fake it. And like we said, we're not doing anybody a service, because I'm not learning my body and how I can appreciate it and enjoy it more. And I'm definitely not doing them a service, because then they're walking around going, oh yeah, I'm so good, I made her do this, right?
I know, Andrea.
So I love that we're learning about this, and I'm sure the listeners are going, oh yes, this is what I needed, because we often talk about it on such a surface level and don't get into the, you know, the granular of it. So I love doing that. And
can I tell you a couple more of my non-negotiables? Because I think this is the perfect time for that, because we were going to talk about that.
Yes, we were.
This, going back to this notion of being agentic, moving away from dude sex, and it's not their fault. They've never seen what to do either, right? So it's nobody's fault. This is a no blame situation. This is these are learned skills. Let's learn them together and keep getting better in bed as we become lovers. And it really takes 5 or 6 months of sex once or twice a week or so. And good communication skills to get pretty darn hot together in bed. There's quite a few gates you have to kind of pass through. And the very first one is their willingness to adjust every time we need adjustment, and to understand that they could never know what to do, because we're different every moment. Men are much more steady state than women are. And we're on a moon cycle even after menopause. And sometimes we're a kitty cat, and sometimes we're a lioness, and sometimes we flip halfway through, right? So we get warmed up. And I think that that's the baseline, is you have to be able to say anything you need to say, and your lover needs to be able to hear it, acknowledge it, not take it personally, use it as positive information to do a better job, because you're a team. So one of my non-negotiables is that I never continue to be penetrated if I'm not really enjoying the shit out of it. I just stop. I don't owe any man an ejaculation. You
Mm.
can go take care of yourself.
Yeah.
So I really feel like in our culture, we've been indoctrinated to think
Yes.
that's our job.
Yes.
And when you're agentic and you're like, listen, if it's not working for me, we're just gonna stop and take a break. If I feel like going back to it, we'll go back to it. But
Mm.
we're in a learning time together where I'm different every day and every time we make love, and I'm gonna just keep telling you what I need, and we're gonna keep getting better together.
Mhm.
And I'd like to get to the point where I'm coming the whole time you're inside me. And I can't
Mm.
get there if we don't start this way.
Mm.
So that's number one, is take breaks. Everybody
Yeah.
drives to this, like, how fast can you rip each other's clothes off, and how fast can you get it in me, and how fast can you I call
Yeah.
it grab a boob and stick it in, right? That's not what we
Picture
need.
it.
We need that
No.
20 or 30 minutes for our lady boner.
Yes.
This is erotic liberation for us.
Yeah.
Is I don't owe you an ejaculation. If I'm not feeling it, we're going to stop. If if I need more foreplay or less foreplay, I'm going to tell you. And then there's another one that's particular to me, but I'm going to give this one to you because I really feel like it's a very important example for you and your listeners to use to figure out what your personal boundaries and needs are in the bedroom. We're
Mhm.
all very different, but we're all also very similar, and we are
Yeah.
one operating system. Sometimes we like it a little harder, a little softer in this spot or that spot for now. But
Yeah.
really, what you're doing is you're activating these pleasure pathways through touch and stimulation. And over time, you can activate all that vulvovaginal tissue, so that it loves to be touched every single place. So instead of
Mm.
parts of it being shameful, feeling like you feel a little shame to get touched there, or it
Yeah.
hurts a little, or it feels numb there, over time with loving touch, you can bring all that online. But what happened to me as a child was that I was sexually abused by my
Mm.
stepfather. And I realized tw- close to 30 years into my marriage that I preferred to be in control of the first moments of penetration.
Mm.
And that was because in my late 50s, I started practicing cowgirl, woman on top.
Yeah.
I wanted to start giving myself orgasms from being on top.
Mhm.
As I was going through teaching myself to orgasm from intercourse and trying all these techniques I developed and all this kind of stuff. And I'm always learning things and publishing new ideas too.
Sure.
But I realized that it was that moment when my husband would penetrate me where it would take my sexual turn on down. And I
Okay.
realized that it was because I had been inappropriately penetrated and assaulted as a child.
Mhm.
And you can do all the work in the world, but the body holds the score. I don't know who wrote that book, the woman who wrote that book, but it was such a beautiful title. It was so great.
Mhm.
And my body still holds that score. So
Mhm.
I like when we first start making love, 9 times out of 10, I'll get on top of him and slowly ease down onto him.
Okay.
And once I'm in control of being penetrated, I'm
Mhm.
not triggered by it.
Interesting.
And that really helped me. It's one of my coping mechanisms. And it's a simple thing. My husband understands it. And frankly, my cowgirl game is strong. Really good. I mean,
Yeehaw.
sometimes I'm like, are you getting tired of just being ridden constantly? Because like we could do doggy or off the edge of the bed or missionary or, something else if you want to. And he's like, no, it's okay. I
It's
know you love
okay.
it.
I like
Am I screaming in your ear too much? Is it hurting your ears? He's like, no,
it.
it's
Poor
not hurting my
thing.
ears. You can scream away. And so it's really, he just loves that I'm in control. He knows I'm having
Yeah.
fun. It's making me orgasm. It's fantastic. And I don't have that moment of like contraction that I
Yes.
had for so long that I think he always felt like it was something about him, and it was nothing
Yeah.
about him. And it took me decades to discover it. And
Oh,
so
wow.
that's not going to be most people's
Non-negotiable.
requirement,
Yeah.
though SA is so common. We've been so wounded.
Yeah.
But it gives you an idea of if there's something that's not working for you,
Yeah.
don't do it.
And
Try an
continue to do it.
alternative. You're agentic. It's your
Yeah.
terms. You ask
Yeah.
for what you need. And if you don't know, yes, you do, because you have proprioception, which is, I'm
Mm.
sorry, interoception. It's one of your senses. It's called interoception. And it's basically, do you know when you're holding a fart in? Yes.
Mhm.
Do
Mhm.
you know when you stubbed your toe and it hurts? Yes.
Mhm.
Do you know when someone's stroking your vulva and it doesn't feel good? Yes.
Mhm.
So, what's the real problem here? That you've been told to be quiet and put up
Yes.
with it. And we're here to say on this show today,
Say
fuck
it, girl.
that shit. Agentic
Mhm.
women use these lips on their face to speak for these lips on their yoni. They're
I
talking
love
to
it.
you. She's talking to you all the time. She's saying, that's too hard. That's too soft. What I really want is this. I need more warm up. I don't like that. He's got a scratchy thing on his dick. Whatever it is, you have to tell him, but
Yeah.
you have to get him to be willing to not take it personally by
Personally.
explaining to him, listen,
Yes.
I'm different every day. I just need to tell you everything that's going on. It's going to empower you to be the best lover you've ever been. I'm going to be the woman that you're going to be totally hot for because I'm going to empower you to give me
Mm.
the pleasure I know you're dying to give me. And so once you start thinking, oh, geez, what are my non-negotiables? What am I doing
Yeah.
that is not serving me? And how can I create new boundaries? Because
Yeah.
boundaries are the way that you know if someone loves you for who you are and is willing to give you what you need, or they're going to trample on your boundaries, in which case you will never see them again.
Mm.
Because if they trample on your boundaries, they don't care about you. And you're
Mhm.
not ever going to put up with that anymore.
Mm. I love that you just said that, Susan, because that was one of my questions I was going to say to you is,
Yeah.
when you're early dating on, like we can say that now you've been married 30 years. Yes. And it took you a long time to get to that point to
So
talk to
long.
them. So the ones that are dating now, they're just starting into a sexual experience with somebody. And I
Yeah.
was going to say, how do we, I'm including myself in this, get up the nerve, right? Like to talk to them like that when we don't know them. We don't know them the way you know your husband and you can have that conversation. But at the end of the day, kind of what you're saying is, take a leap of faith, have that conversation. And if they don't want anything to do with it, or they are poo-pooing on your experience, then that's just not your person, right? Like that's
Right.
not the one for you, and send them on your
No.
way. Because the one that, and most men should be like, wow, like it's a turn on, I would think, a woman
Yeah.
going, okay, this is what I want you to do, because men are always asking during sex, what do you want? What do you
Yeah.
like? How do you want
Yeah.
this to feel?
Yeah.
And I always go, I don't know, that's good. That's right.
Right.
But if I took that time to actually go,
Mm-hmm.
you know what?
Yeah.
Let me tell you what I want. Take their hand, put it here. I want you to feel this. I want you to do this, right? And do that.
Yeah.
Then that's a different experience. So it's
Mm-hmm.
us having to get over, once again, a little bit of the shame, but also
Right.
the fear of speaking up, which we're all afraid to do.
Yeah.
We're people
Yeah.
pleasers. We just want to
Yeah.
say, no, that's good.
Right. It's
That's
not even
what's going to make
shame,
the difference.
Andrea. It's
Mm.
oppression.
It's oppression. Yes, it
We're
is.
here to get through that together
Yeah.
by having these conversations. You will
Yeah.
be oppressed no more. You will speak for yourself.
Yes.
Now, I'll
Yes.
leave you another thing for your listeners that I think would be helpful. How
Please.
do you talk to your partner about this?
Yeah.
I have a technique. One of my other best-selling books, it's funny, they're coming up today, is called Sexual Soulmates: The 6 Essentials for Connected Sex.
Okay.
And in that, I've studied what makes sex really hot and keep getting better over
Hmm.
time, because
Hmm.
sex is a series of learned skills, communication skills, pleasuring techniques,
Yeah.
and some intimate wellness stuff if things aren't working well. And one of the techniques is called the Sexual Soulmate Pact. And it's an
Hmm.
agreement between lovers that you'll be able to say anything to them and that
Mhm.
they'll understand that it's just what your body's saying right now. You're reporting in from the animal in which you inhabit. We are
Yeah.
Homo sapiens. I mean,
Yeah.
we like to think that mankind is
Yeah.
above the animal kingdom, but it's not. We're actually in the tree of life on the branch with the bonobos, the orangutans. We
Mm.
are part of the great ape family.
Yeah.
And when we live in an animal body, we are subject to the vagaries of how much sugar we ate, how much sleep we got, how much stress we're under, where we are in our cycles, even after menopause, all of
Mhm.
those kinds of things. And so it's
Mhm.
never going to be the same. Every day is going to be different. That's what's fun about us. We are fun
Yes.
and adventure to men who are much more steady state. They are bored without us, and their lives are flat without us. They just do work and war. They're
Mhm.
not really living without us.
Mhm.
So they need us to tell them what's going on, and they need to learn how to take it in and think about it as feedback that helps them be better, not as failure. And so
Mhm.
when they get the idea, oh, right, yeah, you are different every day. And yeah, I do need you to tell me these things. Then what you want them to do is just acknowledge and appreciate that you told them. And
Right.
that will encourage you to keep doing it. So the trick is that you say, hey, can you go even lighter? And they do
Mm.
it. And they say, thank you, baby. Then
Mhm.
you know that
I
if
hear
they
you.
say nothing, then you think they got butt hurt, and then you
Yeah.
won't tell them anymore, and then you'll have shitty sex, and then your relationship won't last.
Yeah.
So the Sexual Soulmate Pact is at sexualsoulmatepact.com, PACT, like an agreement,
Pact.
sexualsoulmatepact.com. And you can print it out and you can give it to him and
Mhm.
say, this is how I want us to relate. And there's a checklist in there for him, because he's not going to read the stories, and there's stories in there for you that bring it to
Mhm.
life for you.
Okay.
So that's a free download,
Amazing.
and it makes it's a game changing technique. It's the foundation. Like when guys are like, teach me some techniques, I'm like, okay, the first one's a communication skill, and this is it.
No. How does that go over? They're like, oh,
Good.
I don't like to communicate.
Well, it's because she needs to be able to tell you anything she needs to be able to tell you,
Yeah.
and she needs to trust that you want to know. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Great.
And who doesn't want to have great sex at the end of the day? Right?
Exactly. They just want to do a good job. They want to
That's
win,
it.
and they want to be respected for a job well done. That's what drives the male ego. And that's
Mhm.
from testosterone. It's what makes them the way
Mhm.
they are. We want encouragement and acknowledgement and appreciation. We want to be appreciated for how hot our booty looks, for how great our dinner was that we cooked, for whatever. And we want to be encouraged. Come on, baby. I just want you to totally relax. You look so beautiful. Let me
Yeah.
go down on you. You just take your time, like that kind of thing. That's what we're
Yeah.
looking for.
Oof. Ooh, I like it. Wow, girl. Up my nose. My question.
I know. I think we delivered on what we said we were
Yes.
going to deliver on. Yeah.
Yes. And there's so much more. I mean, I feel like we've just
Yeah.
touched the surface, and I know the listeners are going to hit
Yeah.
me up and be like, we want more Susan. We want more Susan. So I
Oh
would
yeah. I'll come
absolutely
back.
love to have you back. Before
Yeah.
you go, can I do my little from Mrs. to Rapid Ms. 10 fast little rapid questions?
Yes.
This is-
Yes.
Okay, ready? Here we
Yes.
go. Number one,
Okay.
morning sex or night sex?
For me, morning, because I'm old.
Oh,
Afternoon sex, because I'm old.
an afternoon
I got
delight.
to go to bed at like
You
9 o'clock.
All right, number two, biggest intimacy myth you wish would die already. What's the myth?
Oh God. That some women think they can't, that they're just not the kind of woman who can have orgasms from intercourse.
Yeah, I think
That
we all start to
that
think that.
everything is a learned skill, and that you just need to learn.
Nice. One supplement everyone should try for better sex. I know you've
Yeah.
got it.
Nitric oxide booster. My Flow
Yep.
nitric oxide booster is my number one selling product. Let me give your listeners a free bottle link. It's
Yes.
at getflowfree.com. Foreplay.com.
Okay.
And I'll send you the first month for free. And it's very easy to
Amazing.
move if you want a subscription and you want to move it out. Oh no, I didn't take them all and I got to push out,
Yeah.
because a lot of my customers are in their 50s, 60s, 70s,
Hmm.
and they don't want like subscription fuckery.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You
this
just
is
want
a
the one and
nice,
done.
yeah.
Okay. Perfect. I'll add that to the show notes. All right. Number 4,
Mhm.
dirty talk, essential or optional?
Essential.
Essential, people.
Moaning is essential.
Mm.
Sharing fantasies, asking for what you want, encouraging and appreciating your partner,
Mm.
talking after sex about what your moments were that were the sexiest and
Mm.
hottest, making offers to each other, coming up with lists of ideas of fun things to do together in the bedroom that you want to try and learn,
Okay.
asking and showing each other how to use toys together. Like, these are all super
All good,
important
good
components.
stuff. All right. Number 5, lube. Always, sometimes, or never?
It depends on the person, and where they are in their cycle, how wet they are, how turned on they
Yeah.
are, how much, engagement they've had beforehand, and foreplay, or whatever you want to call it. I don't even like that word.
Mhm.
And the lubes I like are all natural. So CBD, MCT oil, essential oils, things like that. The two I like are pleasureprotocol.com
Okay.
and loversbundle.com.
Mm.
And both of them are wonderful. And you could literally make a salad dressing out of them. They're not going to hurt you. They're not going to have a bunch of
Tried that?
chemicals in them.
That's something to try. Um, Number 6, quickie or marathon session?
Well, marathon session, because quickies don't give you enough time to get your lady
Interesting.
boner.
No. But okay, I guess once in a while, if it's an after, like a nooner, you got to come home and just
If
maybe.
you're turned on, engorged, lubricated, yes, but no, if you're
Yeah,
not.
no. We'll just go with no.
Yeah.
Number 7, the most underrated erogenous zone.
Every woman is different. Sometimes women like their feet pleasured, or they have core-gasms, or they love
Ooh.
nipple-gasms, or they
Ooh.
love throat-gasms, or
Oh my
whatever. There's
God.
so many ways to come. There's over 20 kinds of orgasms to have, and I think it's good to systematically learn them over time and train your body to have them all.
Oh, we just need a gasm episode. Oh my God.
I know.
Okay. Number 8, role play, playful fun or awkward cringe?
It depends on your
The
personality
character.
types. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're coming in as a homeless guy, that's not doing it for me. Talking to yourself all over the place. All right. Number 9, biggest turn off in the bedroom. What would you say?
Telling me I don't know what I'm thinking or doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, not
that's
listening,
right.
not listening.
Not listening. All right. Number 10, one daily habit that keeps your libido alive.
Ooh, masturbation,
Yeah. Daily.
self-pleasuring, using sex toys on yourself.
Love it. Love it.
It
Yeah.
makes you a better comer when you're with a partner.
That's right. That's what we all need to be. All
Good.
right.
Thank you for
Susan.
having me.
Oh my God, what a treat this was. I feel like I'm like invigorated.
Good,
My fanny is fluttering right now. I'm like,
good,
woo!
good. I'm
So I
so
can't
glad, Andrea.
wait. Yeah. And I want to get all of those links you said, all the
Yeah,
things we can go to and check out because I want to do them myself. And
yeah,
all right, so tell everybody where they can find you, just your
yeah.
basics.
Yeah,
Where-
betterlover.com is a good place to sign up for my newsletter there. And if you have any questions for me about anything I said or anything I didn't, you're welcome to reply to any email. It comes right to my inbox and I will get back to you.
Amazing. Amazing. All right, you guys, that is it for this week. I hope you enjoyed listening to Susan and you got as much out of this as I did. So we will see you guys next week. You can find me on any major streaming platform. I'm on Instagram at from.mrs.the2.ms. And if you want to email me with questions, I have the link to Susan, just saying. So send me some questions. And you can email me at Andrea at from Mrs. the number 2 Ms.com. All right, guys, we'll see you next week. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.